Hey, good morning, y'all. Hope everybody is doing well and can't wait to be back with you on Monday. Yeah, what they said about not getting sleep when you have a baby is very true. So I sound a little tired, but everything is good, fantastic, and I have the cutest daughter ever, so I'm pumped. Anyway, just wanted to briefly cover a couple things as you jump into writing today. Um, when you start drafting, right, it can often feel a little bit overwhelming. Remember that the essay is due on Monday and Tuesday, so you'll have an hour and a half of class today, and then you'll have whatever you want to put in over the weekend. And for homework, right, use focus period today, use focus period tomorrow, all that good stuff. And then you'll submit it Monday and Tuesday, right? We'll probably have a day for homework we do any last edits, right? But don't plan on that. Like you need to submit a final essay, what you think is your best effort on Monday and Tuesday, because we're starting the Odyssey. Um, it's going to be excellent. And right, remember that you can do rewrites. If I feel like you actually put in a good effort on this essay and you don't like, what you got on it, you can always do a rewrite. But that's only the case if I actually feel like you really like put forth effort on this. So use today well. Use Miss Platt, right? She's excellent. Share your document with her, get feedback, all those things. So hey, I just wanted to kind of break down, right? Here's what I want you to know. It should not be overly difficult. You should not be overly um, traumatized by having to draft an essay today. All right. Let's just think about the very basic thing. First thing first, everyone should do this. At the top of your document, put your thesis statement, right? And I'm going to show you kind of some ways to break down your thesis. So I think this is maybe Tori's, but I just took hers because it seemed like it was a good example that we could use. So Tori puts her thesis: the journey of life is the pursuit of truth, which is characterized by internal and external struggle, standing alone when necessary, and facing the reality of what is. All right, does it directly answer the prompt? Where should we be going? Absolutely. It says we should be going towards truth, and then it even goes further to say what we can expect, right? So once she has her thesis statement, the very next thing Tori should do, wrong button, is start putting topic sentences, right? Her topic sentences are basically right there. So you seem to look at your thesis and be like, hey, what are the things I need to cover in what order? So for Tori, her very first topic sentence is going to be something about how the pursuit of truth is characterized by internal and external struggle. Right? So I'm not going to write it for her, but this is what the topic would cover. You know what? Yeah, I will write it so we can kind of get an example, right? The journey toward truth will necessarily entail, which means include, internal and external struggle. Cool. Does that directly tie into her thesis? Absolutely. Is it the thing that she needs to cover first? Yeah, because it's the first thing that her thesis addresses, right? Or is then going to include evidence, right? Evidence and explanation from the text. And then she's going to jump into topic sentence two, or body paragraph two, right? The next thing that she would necessarily need to cover, she's already talked about how the pursuit of truth is characterized by internal and external struggle. Okay, so now she needs to talk about how when you pursue truth, you will be required to stand alone, right? Or you don't feel like you need to use these. I'm just going off the top of the head, right? That's the next thing that seems like the thesis needs to address. So make a body paragraph out of it. Evidence and explanation, right? Maybe there's three pieces of evidence. I don't know. This third topic sentence, right? Pursuing truth requires you to face the reality of what is. Evidence, evidence. And then we wrap it up with a conclusion. And only then do we go back and write a very brief introduction, which leads into your thesis, right? And that's Tori's essay. right? A thesis statement that directly answers the prompt of where we should be going on the journey of life. Topic sentences that build off of the thesis statement, basically mini thesis statements that connect into her broader thesis. Evidence to support it. Wrap it up, right? Very brief process. I want to show you one more. You do not necessarily need 3 body paragraphs, right? In the past, you were probably taught like, hey, introduction, 3 body paragraphs, conclusion, 5-paragraph essay. You're not stuck to that, right? So I'm going to show you, I think it's, I'm not sure whose this is. Maybe Caitlin's. That maybe won't have 3 body paragraphs. Maybe we'll only have 2 body paragraphs, right? I would say don't do 1 body paragraph, right? But if you need 4 body paragraphs, that's great. If you only have 2, that's okay, right? Do what the essay calls for. Serve the work is a good way to think about it, right? So here is Caitlin's thesis. We should pursue a greater awareness because this is the greatest way to figure out truth, even if such a pursuit is difficult. Does it answer the question of where are we going? Yeah, pursuing a greater awareness, right? Very clear. Why? Right? Because the thesis should also talk about why. Because this is the greatest way to figure out truth. Right? So now Caitlin's going to be like, okay, what's the first thing I need to cover? Well, if we look back at her thesis statement, um, she'd have to figure out how to word it. But I mean, the very first thing she would have to cover is that we should pursue a greater awareness because this is how we figure out truth. Right? So something along the lines of awareness is a key component of truth seeking, right? Okay, where do we see that? Is there something in Allegory of the Cave? Is there something in The Enemy of the People? Is there something in Frankenstein? Right? She concludes some topics, some things to support it, etc. Right? Then we go to the second part. What would be the natural second part of this thesis statement? Would be that such a pursuit is difficult. Right? So this pursuit, the greater awareness, is a difficult and painful process. Cool. Now she's going to include her evidence. All right. Now Caitlin should not be freaking out and be like, I don't have a third topic sentence. She doesn't need one. Write the conclusion. And then go back and write the introduction. And there's her essay. Right. So you're not stuck to 3 body paragraphs. What you need to do is you need to take a hard look at your thesis. You need to think, what are the most natural things that I need to cover in order to elaborate on this thesis? And then start writing body paragraphs. Right. So here's your goal for today. Your goal should be that you get at least 2 good, solid body paragraphs done, right? You're not submitting anything until Monday and Tuesday when you submit the essay, right? So your goal should not be don't write your introduction. Your goal should be to hammer out topic sentences as you should have already done. So if you haven't, you're playing a little catch up, but you'll be okay, right? You're going to write topic sentences. You're going to write a couple SPRs, right? As just think of the body paragraphs as SPRs. And then you'll go back and you'll write a very brief introduction, a very brief conclusion, and Miss Platt will help you kind of clarify what that looks like. Okay? So you guys are going to do it, right? Don't stress. Deep breath. You're going to kill it. Hone in. Put in music if you want to. Music without lyrics doesn't help with lyrics. Crank out some work. And I'm excited to read these things. All right. Much love. I'm going to go hang with my baby and do good things.